G'day there guys, still waiting for that day they said it's gonna get better? It's your man Markee here and welcome back to another episode of r/Am I the A-hole? That was a joke by the way, don't take me seriously there. If you like today's bloody good content, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn of the barbie, subscribe if you like the content, it's free down below, and have a good day. Thank you. Posted by user, Am I the A-hole Bridezilla or not? Titled, Am I the a-hole for insisting my fiance's parents can't come to our wedding? Hi all. I, 27 female, dislike my fiance's, 28 male, parents. Over the years, they've come to hate me as well. Fiance, Kay, and I met in college. He was already low contact with his parents when we met. They are boundary stompers. Kay's mum was pretty disgusting and weird with him growing up, and his dad is an alcoholic. Kay has let them stay in his life on an information diet and with boundaries. Background. A few years ago, we'd planned to spend Christmas with my parents. They argued with us about this for a month. Kay's mum started calling me several times a day, crying on the phone, begging me to come for Christmas. Kay told his sister what date we were leaving, and she told them. They showed up at 1 a.m. with their suitcases and said they had spent all night driving and they were here for the holidays. I told Kay that I'd handle it, and I told them that they would not be coming inside. They whined about having driven hours and it was too late to get a hotel. I told them to sleep on the street then. I was sick of their BS, they were not going to control my life like they had controlled their sons growing up. They asked what I meant. I called them awful parents who were lucky Kay was so forgiving to even talk to them still. They insisted on coming inside and talking to Kay. I told them to F off, and if they weren't gone in 10 minutes, I would call the cops. Then I slammed the door. Kay thought what I said was hilarious. He never heard the end of this though, and they've tried to get him to dump me since. Anyways, the situation. We are close with Kay's little sister, Em, and his brother-in-law, and we were having dinner with them. Em joked about Kay's mum wearing a white dress. I said, yeah, which is why Kay's parents won't be at our wedding. Em, shocked, began an interrogation. Kay backed me up and said his parents are prone to hysterics, get too drunk at gatherings, and are too draining to have there. Em accused me of forcing this decision onto Kay. Kay said he didn't want them at the reception and was considering having them at the ceremony. I said it was a conversation for later between Kay and I, but that they would have not been at the reception no matter what. Em freaked out and said this would ruin our relationship with our in-laws forever, and at this point, brother-in-law agreed. Em called me a ruthless bear, said this would cause too much family drama, and that we're being self-centered a-holes. Here's where I might be the a-hole. I told Em it's not my fault that her and brother-in-law were too chicken crap to ever set boundaries with them, that they let mother-in-law make their wedding about her, and if my in-laws weren't such awful human beings, then this wouldn't be an issue. I also said that if their mum didn't want to be on the altar with Kay too, I'd be less against having them there. Em and brother-in-law left. I texted her, apologizing, and she said she'll forgive me if I invite my future in-laws. Kay and I talked more, and we still agree on them not being there, but I feel awful. I would hate to ruin our relationship with her and brother-in-law. Am I the a-hole? Edit. Hi everyone. I appreciate everyone who's replied and for all the judgments. I wanted to add in some information, as originally I didn't think it was relevant to the conflict, but it's getting brought up a lot in the comments section. Question. Why are you the one dealing with the in-laws? / you're steamrolling your fiance / he needs to handle them. I'm not the one who maintains communication or boundaries with my in-laws. My fiance has been the one to set every boundary. He was the one who would tell them that we were leaving a gathering due to their behavior, stood his ground to his in-laws repeatedly on demands, told them that we would go no contact if they kept it up, etc. When his mother would call me to try and force us to visit, he would answer the phone and let her know that it was inappropriate to call me to try and manipulate me. He went low contact with them before meeting me and was financially independent from them from 18 onwards. The first time I got involved was when they showed up at our door at 1 a.m, pounding on our door and windows, telling us we didn't have to go see my parents anymore. Kay fully supported what I said and was behind me in not allowing them into our home. The reason I dealt with them that day was because he was undressed, and mother-in-law would have gone into hysterics if she'd saw him undressed, and we wanted him out as quickly as possible. I have never handled communication with his parents, or spoke for both of us to his sister. Kay was a large part of the conversation a few nights ago. However, I was asking if I was the a-hole, not if my fiance was. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the a-hole. I think I might be the a-hole for the way I dropped this on M at dinner, for the way I insulted my in-laws to M and brother-in-law, and that I'm unwilling to compromise with M on having them there because I view it as our wedding, our guest list, even though M is family. Honestly, I think M being family is besides the point here. They've been boundary stomping, they've been crazy, they've pushed the line so many times. I think you're allowed to say what you want about them. I feel like that should be okay, and you're not an a-hole for talking out against it. So my judgment on this one is not the a-hole. These people seem genuinely crazy, they will not take no for an answer, and they have a history of abusing your partner. They have absolutely no sympathy from me. Screw these parents, you don't need them in your life. Not the a-hole. Now in the comments, One Mike Nation says, "Everyone sucks here. The parents suck, but honestly the way you talk to his family is disgusting." And OP replies, "Thank you for the judgment. I definitely could have been kinder to M. After some reflection, I was just really mad with what she had said, and after talking with Kay, I realized I hold some resentment towards her. She's the reason we're not no contact with his parents, as she begged us not to cut them off several times because it would make things a lot harder on her, as they financially support her. In regards to what I said to his parents when they showed up at 1 a.m, I stand by what I said, and I'll explain a bit more. They're awful people who had been showing up at our apartment, insulting my family, breaking boundaries, etc. for about 3 years at that point, and I'd never said anything prior to that. I also hold a lot of ill will for how awful they were to Kay growing up. Being woken up at 1 a.m. by them, when they intentionally planned to ruin our holiday after we had firmly told them no, was just too much. Kay has always been great dealing with them. They just don't accept boundaries. If we had the money to pay off M's debt to them, we would, and we plan to once we're able. I disagree with One Mike Nation's judgment. M set the boundaries in the argument. While what you said was a little extreme, M insulted you first. According to your post, she called you a ruthless tramp when you said you wouldn't be inviting your in-laws, who you clearly have a problem with because of their lack of respect. I'm not justifying what you said, but M did disrespect you. Also, you should go no contact with Kay's parents. They will either change or you will get rid of bad people. It's a win-win. Edit. Also in your post, you said that M told Kay's parents when you would be leaving. She clearly seems like she doesn't care about your boundaries either. I suggest uninviting her too. And also, I don't know how M can be so oblivious to her parents. When she found out that Kay's parents wouldn't be invited, she didn't even consider the possibility that Kay didn't want them to come. She instantly blamed you. I don't understand why she would think Kay wants his horrible parents at his wedding. And Morally Applicable says, "Not the a-hole. Your fiance's parents sound like narcissists, and M has absolutely no say in your wedding. It seems like she's more mad at the fact that you and Kay are setting the boundaries she was too scared to set, and thinks that you should all suffer, and less about not having your in-laws at the wedding. It was kind of an a-hole move to point that out though, but you're not the a-hole for not caving to emotional blackmail. Forgiveness doesn't come with strings attached. Showing up at your door at 1 a.m. demanding to be let in is ridiculous and a good reason to go no contact, much less contact." And our next post is by user Winhamdoes. titled, Am I the a-hole for making a punny wall of shame for people who stole from my mum's garden? So my mum is really into gardening, and sometimes people have come by and stole potted plants, yard statuettes, and even dug whole plant bulbs with plants out of the ground. Or just cut all of the roses off her bushes because they were too cheap to buy from the florist, I guess. Anyway, my dash cam of my car, which I park in the driveway near the garden bed, caught most all of them close up, and as a way to help my mum not have her plants stolen, I printed all of their pictures out and made a poster that said, "Oh, hey there! Don't be a daffy dill and steal, or else you might end up doing hard time. We hope this'll be a lesson to you." And I put the pictures of everyone stealing from the garden around the border. Also gave each person a funny fake name. Mr. Potato Head, Dilettante, Pothead, Prick, Sucker, I Peony in my pants, Frondless, Dirtbag, Infertile, and Root Boy. I thought it was funny and cutesy. Like, how can you be offended with dumb plant puns? My mum thought it was hilarious and wanted me to hang it up because she was sick of seeing stuff stolen. But I got a couple complaints. One neighbor said I needed to take it down because I had a picture of his son, a minor, who did something dumb, yes, but was just trying to bring his sick girlfriend flowers, and that it was disproportionate and rude to publicly shame him. I told him that it wasn't that big of a deal, and he told me that I was being petty. I called his kid a little birch, which ticked him off and honestly might have been petty. Another guy came to the house and returned a cutting his wife had apparently took to propagate, thinking it would be no big deal. But yeah, it damaged the plant because she cut like a quarter off, and he asked if we would take down the sign because she was on the board of directors or something from the town or whatever. My mum had answered the door and told him to make like a bee and buzz off. Anyways, I guess they both know each other, and now both of these families are annoyed. Am I the a-hole for making a petty sign about people stealing from my mum's garden, hoping to get them to stop? I think just because two people complained, it doesn't mean that your actions here were disproportionate. These people felt bad about their actions, one even returned the plant as a result of being called out publicly. It's even better that you made more punny, stupid, rude jokes about them and that guy's son when they came to confront you about it. That's just amazing. Though if this woman's going to get offended because she's on the board of directors and she wants to keep her reputation, squeaky clean, maybe she shouldn't be stealing from people's gardens. Maybe you should just show that you're a good person and not destroy other people's property. That would be a good start, and I think she absolutely deserves to be called out like that. So, OP, not the a-hole for this one. They all deserved that. Now, in the comments, the Space Mambo says, not the a-hole. These people stole. That's a crime. And instead of pressing charges or whatever, you have created something truly delightful. I wish I were half as clever as you because I'd come up with a pun of my own. Not only are you not an a-hole, you're also my hero. Jumping on top comment to agree. If you don't want your photo displayed, refrain from stealing the plants. If you don't want your photos displayed but you would like to continue stealing the plants, we can press charges in place of displaying your photo. The choice is yours. Not the a-hole. If they don't like it, they can get Clover it. Could always mark people off of the sign too, as they apologize. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be difficult for someone to attack the garden from out of view of the cameras. They could spray something harmful from afar. They may also have a better idea of where the camera's blind spots are due to the pictures of them and others. Personally, I see it as they did a crappy thing and OP got them back for it. Now they've expressed they're angry about the sign, and you never know when someone might feel justified in doing something stupid over their own ego. I would exercise caution in developing enemies for a garden that people clearly have easy access to, if you want your plants to do well, that is. But this really does sound like a hilarious way to call people out for stealing from someone's property. Sounds like some of these people are ruining the garden, and not just taking a flower here and there. To the parent complaining about his son's picture being there, he should have his son apologize to your mum in order to get his picture down. Maybe even have the son bring your mum some flowers. Parents can buy some if he can't, as a way to show that he's actually sorry. Going straight to how it's public shaming instead of telling his son not to steal from other people is kind of funny. I doubt your mum would have minded if the kid said he wanted a couple flowers for his sick girlfriend, as long as he actually asked her first. Posted by user Automatic Cricket 71. Titled, Am I the a-hole for bringing out regular bread when a pregnant woman ordered garlic-free garlic bread? So I'm a waitress at a restaurant. Earlier, a pregnant woman came in with her husband. When I went to get their orders, the woman asked for garlic-free garlic bread. I advised her that our garlic bread was just our regular bread with garlic butter instead of regular butter, and asked her to clarify if she just wanted regular bread. But she insisted no. She wanted our garlic bread just without garlic. I let her know she could just order regular bread and it would be $1 less, but she insisted she had a huge craving for garlic bread without the garlic. I wasn't really sure what to do, but her husband got angry and said something like, "Can't you see that she's pregnant? It's not that hard to just bring out garlic bread without garlic." So I took their order and told the kitchen she wanted garlic bread without garlic. Kitchen staff thought I was being snarky, but brought out the regular bread for her. She immediately starts crying and asking me if I was treating her like an idiot. How could I treat a pregnant woman so badly? Is it that hard to make garlic bread without garlic? But literally, we do nothing different to our garlic bread except use garlic butter instead of regular butter. Her husband flagged down a manager, telling me that I was being condescending and that his wife had been craving this all week, but garlic was making her nauseous. The manager came over, and I explained what was going on. The manager apologized and took the bread back and told me to just bring out another loaf of bread with garlic butter on the side. I was a little annoyed, but I did it, and gave it to them. The husband got angry again, told the manager I was being intentionally difficult and cruel, then left with his wife, who ate the garlic-free garlic bread using the garlic butter. This just feels bizarre to me. Both me and my manager weren't really sure how to handle this. Am I the a-hole for bringing out regular bread when the woman ordered garlic-free garlic bread? Edit. To clarify, it's a focaccia loaf. The regular and garlic bread are baked the exact same way. It's just that one uses garlic and the other doesn't. I just saw a meme where they said focaccia funny and I thought it would be funny to say. Edit 2, to clarify further, the lady says she had been to the restaurant before. She was completely aware of what our garlic bread contained. She was specifically craving our garlic bread, which is a flat focaccia with salt, herbs, butter, and garlic. Our regular bread is the exact same thing with no garlic, so it has the salt, herbs, and butter. They are both served warm. The bread isn't toasted like Texas toast-style garlic bread. The focaccias are pretty flat, so you can't really toast it, but the crust is still pretty crunchy and buttery. I mean, what? What the hell's going on? Am I going crazy? I feel like it's just ridiculous that they requested that, then made a huge fuss of it when they got exactly what they'd requested. Like, what the hell do they actually want from this place? You either get the garlic butter on there or not. Maybe you just get normal butter on there. Maybe she wanted that, but her brain just couldn't say it. Like, they yelled at OP, and they called them and the manager terrible at their jobs. I really don't think I'm missing anything in this situation. I feel like something was just going on with this couple that night. They weren't happy together, so they went and took it out on waiters. Is that what's going on here? Because I'm very lost and confused how they continued to get so upset when there is no alternative. Whatever they're asking for either didn't exist, or they were just really confused, high on some crazy drugs. I don't have an answer for that one. I'm gonna go with not the a-hole. Screw those people, what's their problem? Now in the comments, Significant Onion 21 says, "Lol, no, not the a-hole. There was literally no way to satisfy her in this situation, it appears. Pregnancy isn't an excuse for her here. Some patrons are just gonna be like that. It sounds like maybe she wanted the bread toasted with butter, but not garlic. Not the a-hole for not understanding her unclear request, though. She made asking for toast needlessly complicated then, lol. Isn't there a thing called pregnancy brain, where hormones make someone think like a toenail clipping? Not excusing, cause somebody pregnant probably should be aware of that, just inquisitive. And edits, it's pretty interesting hearing the different takes on this. Like, in that case, isn't it on the husband to get her point across clearly, instead of also being a dense a-hole about it? Wife: honey, I want garlic bread, but no garlic. Husband: oh, sorry miss, she's pregnant, she means toasted bread with melted butter. Server: oh, no worries sir, I'll go get that for ya. I'd bet real money the husband had already been through the whole wash, rinse, spin cycle on this several times over. It's like that movie The Ring. The garlic-free garlic bread problem was his until he passed it along. But of course, he can't risk shattering the illusion by trying to explain it to the server in a way that would fix the problem. He has to be fully invested in her impossible goal in order for it to work. That's just so effing stupid. I'm sorry, that's just really dumb then. If that's genuinely the case, that makes me angry to hear it. Not the a-hole, but I'm pregnant, and after reading this, I'm desperate for garlic bread with garlic. So you're the a-hole for making me hungry, crying laughing emoji. Not the a-hole, they're asking you for an item that does not exist. The customer is not always right, especially when they demand that you make a square circle. Yeah, what? I'm pregnant and I think she and her husband are just being unreasonable. It's like asking for a glass of water without water and having a tantrum when you're given an empty cup. Growing a baby doesn't make contradictions that can't exist suddenly work somehow. If she just wanted toasted bread with butter or something, it's on her for not being able to explain what she was talking about. Getting louder and more aggressive does not actually improve your chances of anyone understanding you. And our next post is by user JennyJenny8675, titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my daughter that she's getting what she deserves? So I, 58 male, have 2 daughters, one from a previous marriage and another from my wife's previous marriage. Both daughters are around the same age, think mid-20s. My daughter Allie has never gotten along with her stepsister Johanna. If Johanna invited Allie to a movie, Allie was suddenly super busy and had no time. If Johanna wanted to come with Allie to a party, Johanna wasn't invited and there was no way she could bring her. She'd rip up Johanna's things and would blame Johanna when she got grounded. Just the run-of-the-mill petty teenager bull stink. Johanna was a good sport and always seemed to take things on the chin. Her explanation was always that sisters fight. Until about maybe 3 or 4 summers ago, Allie was home from college and was going through a rough breakup that was causing her grades to tank, which put her on academic probation. Allie was upset and was taking it out on everyone, especially Johanna. My wife and I told her to cut it out, and she seemed to catch on that her behavior wasn't going to be accepted. Come to find out, after Allie leaves to go back to college, that she had completely destroyed Johanna's scrapbook with her pictures of her dad and destroyed a lot of the shirts that she'd left of his. Johanna didn't make a stink about it in front of us, but that night the house stunk of E6000 and Mod Podge. You could guess what she spent the night doing. After that incident, Johanna had completely given up on Allie. Allie has a birthday coming up. Johanna wouldn't even sign the card. Allie is in town for the weekend, and unless it's a holiday or a family event, Johanna wasn't there. And honestly, we didn't blame her. Now, the issue is that Allie wants Johanna to let things go and let bygones be bygones. Johanna is getting married soon, and Allie wants an invite. It was brought up this past week at a family dinner. Johanna and her fiance, as well as their son, attended. Allie and her wife and 2 girls attended as well. Allie brought up how the kids were the same age and how it'd be cool after the wedding if the kids could hang out. Allie also asked what she could wear to Johanna's wedding and if she'd be a bridesmaid. Johanna pretty much laid it out for Allie that she wasn't coming and that the kids wouldn't be seeing each other outside of family events. The night was pretty tense afterwards, and I asked Johanna if there was any way she could forgive Ali. She said she wanted nothing to do with her, and I told her I fully understand that she carries a lot of hurt from how Ali treated her. Ali came to me after Johanna left and pretty much begged me to convince Johanna to move past things. I told her that had she been a more considerate and kind person back then, that maybe she'd have a chance at a relationship with her stepsister. I told her that she made her bed and she needs to lay in it. She said I'm an a-hole and that any good father would want to see his kids reunite. Am I the a-hole for telling her she deserves this? And info, for everyone asking and making assumptions about my parenting, Ali was never allowed to slide with anything she did to her sister. She was grounded, she had things taken from her, we replaced the things that she broke, and we made sure Johanna was supported and validated throughout the years. We never told Johanna to get over anything. We never told her that she had to forgive Ali. When we offered Ali therapy, she was 14. We weren't going to force our daughter to go to therapy where chances were she could just tell her therapist that she didn't want to be there and be uncooperative, and most likely have the therapist stop seeing her, as we can't and we're not going to force a kid to be somewhere she didn't want to be just for her to lash out at her sister even worse. When Ali destroyed those things, she was banned from coming back until she apologized and made things right by Johanna. Johanna said herself that she didn't want the apology, and my wife and I did our best to surround her with love while she was grieving the loss of those things that she cared for. Johanna moved out, so the punishment was moot. We're aware that Ali sucks, we did everything that we could within reason. I didn't raise Ali to be this way. We didn't encourage this, nor did we allow her to believe the behavior was acceptable. Not the a-hole, given your edits. You did a lot, and I wouldn't have been able to do better. Although maybe I would have had 1 or 2 mandatory therapy sessions where they were minors before giving up on it. Not the a-hole. You don't get to decide when your abuse stops hurting people. You don't get to decide when you should be forgiven. It doesn't sound like she has reformed or sincerely apologized of her own fruition. I think you're a good parent. You tried to get her therapy, you punished her for what she did, and you supported your other daughter. To be honest, this post is refreshing. I see a lot of people saying that their parents are pressuring them to forgive toxic family that aren't sorry and have never apologized. Not the a-hole, and honestly, I don't blame the parents. It sounds like they did all the right things and it just didn't work. They obviously did something right, because Johanna sounds awesome and well-adjusted against all odds. The only thing I think they should have done is have Ali checked out for a mental disorder or illness like narcissistic personality disorder or explosive defiant disorder. It sounds to me like she has a mental illness. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. Friendly reminder that I'm now posting daily on my second channel, Markee 2. If you want to laugh at memes with me, link is down in the description below. On phone, you just click that little arrow underneath the video. I also want to say thank you to all my channel members and Patreon subscribers. Your names are currently floating down the screen here, and I love to see all of you guys. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Thank you for supporting me. I really appreciate it. If you see yourself on screen, I want you to give yourself a big pat on the back for being amazing as always, and thank you for supporting me again. I do hope that you guys have a good day, night, sleep, whatever it is you're up to. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.